Hello, everyone, and welcome to the next episode of It's Your Time to Shine, a podcast about being a mom in a modern world. My name is Juspreet Kaur, and with me is my co-host, Lisa Vora. Hi, Lisa.
Hey, Jess, we're side by side today. I'm so excited.
I know, this is really fun, and we have two special guests with us, my mom, Jindi Singh, and Lisa's mom, Anil Vora. Hi, moms.
Hi, how are you, beta?
Hi, how are you?
Oh, this is so much fun. We get to have you guys together. Thanks, Mom, for doing this.
It's so good to have you guys here.
Our pleasure.
You know, last week, Jess, you sent me your mom's reaction to our podcast.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought it was the funniest thing. And I want to listen to it. I just want to start with that and we can go from there.
Oh, awesome. So this was my mom's reaction to listening to our very first podcast.
Juspreet, after your speech, your and Lisa's speech listening to, you said Pavneet was very happy when she went to kindergarten. But do you remember when I dropped you at the school and you did not even say bye-bye to me, and but you did say, bye, Shorty, I'll see you later. I said, what? You said, yeah, you're Shorty. Do you remember that?
Jess, do you remember that?
What a great question. I don't think I remember that.
Auntie, tell us the story.
You were the shortest one.
Okay, but in my defense, my mom is short, and that's why I'm short. So I must have been a 4-year-old that was making really good observations.
I missed her every day. I was going to the bus stop and, following the bus. I was driving.
So wait, Mom, so you dropped me off at the bus stop. I got on the bus. Yeah. Then you followed the bus in your car to make sure I got off the bus? Aww.
You didn't know any of this?
I had no idea.
And did you show her your emotions? I was wondering.
I'm sure I did, but, I didn't want them to be getting upset, They don't know I've been getting emotional.
How about you, Mom? Tell us about I mentioned it. I mentioned our first podcast how, same thing, you were emotional, but you didn't show it.
Yeah, I was emotional, and I thought at that time that if I cry in presence of Mona or Lisa when I'm leaving them in the school, they will cry more. But I cried after leaving them in the class and when I came out.
So how did you guys feel, because you were both stay-at-home moms? What role did we play? Like for you, Mom, what role did me and my brother Deep play in your life?
You were two different people. If I dropped Deep at school, Deep said, do not come near my school.
How old was he?
He was like 5, 6. He said, you have curly hair and you that was big topic for him.
Wait a minute. He was like 5 and he used to say you have curly hair?
5, 6, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And now I think back, like we don't know growing up, like being the only 8 South Asians in like a predominantly middle-class white neighborhood. Right. We have no idea what influence that has over kids and like what they thought, right?
Yeah.
Like what things he might have been feeling about himself, and then he preemptively called things out about our parents.
You're right. We were laughing about you saying that she's short, but it might just be because you're sitting there like, I'm in a world, all Americans, everyone is tall, everyone is white, they have blue eyes. Hey, Allie's noticing that these days.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Oh yeah, few days ago, she was like, I have blue eyes. I'm like, no, baby, you don't have blue eyes. You have beautiful brown eyes. I want blue eyes like Elsa.
Oh.
And I'm like, your eyes are beautiful. And okay, so actually the story is that I was like, yours and Elsa's are okay. Then Samir's like, Elsa's are beautiful too. And I was like, oh, is that the route we're taking in parenting? The mature route?
I think just generally speaking, since it is 2018 now, just going the like everyone is beautiful route is totally fine.
I used to make a lunch for them. Mm-hmm. One day I had only Hershey bar one. Mm-hmm. So what I did, I cut it half, put it half in Juspreet's lunchbox and half in Deep's lunchbox. Deep said, oh, gee, you're so cheap. She came, she said, Mom, you are so smart. See, you didn't have to give it to me whole thing, or didn't have to give him whole thing. Then I used to write, I love you on the napkin and fold the napkin in. Then she used to come and say, Mom, I love your note.
Oh,
And
that's
Deep
touching.
never said anything. I used to write the same thing to Deep.
She's always been a feeler. As we can see, because she's teary-eyed. Oh, can I get a hug? Oh,
Of course. It's funny that you said that, Mom, because Lisa and I were talking a few weeks ago about how kids learn a lot from their parents, but they don't realize it. Like, we don't realize what we teach our kids, some of the things we do. But I, to this day, will write little notes randomly, not every day. I don't make their lunch every day. Their dad makes their lunch most days. But a lot of times I will write a little note in there that says, like, you're beautiful, you're strong, write little things in there.
I love that.
Yeah.
And my kids will come home and say, guess what, Mom? Guess what? And I'm like, what? You got an A on a test? No, I got your note in the lunchbox.
I used to write for Uncle. Yes, all the time.
You wrote it for Uncle?
Yeah, just I said, have an awesome day. I love you. You're my everything.
I don't write notes to Samir. I make his lunch every day. He just should be lucky that I made him lunch. Let's change gears a little bit. Let's talk about you first coming to England from India. How old were you?
I was 27. Mona and Lisa Mona was only 1.5 years old, and Lisa was only 40 days old when I traveled alone, came by flight from India to London. And I had all the help available in India, but it was very, 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 very tough, no help. And Subhash was busy with his career. Coming from sunshine country, India, to grey skies in London, adjusting to western part of the world, it was tough. It was tough.
Did you and Lisa's dad, were you guys an arranged marriage?
Yes, it was arranged marriage. Yes.
So there's that added complication that you don't even know each other that well, right? And so you can't rely on each other the same way that, like, Lisa, you and I can rely on our spouses.
Exactly. I think just knowing your spouse, and you already kind of assessed early on that this is the kind of dad they're going to be, this is the kind of husband, and you made the choice to be with that person. So it makes it easier.
Mom, how many years have you guys been married now?
55.
Wow.
God bless you both.
Yes.
Wow. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Every day is a celebration.
God bless you. God bless you both.
When my Mataji, Pitaji came to see me, I didn't know they came to see me. I was crocheting so fast. Pitaji said, this is the girl.
How old were you, Mom, when they came to
I was
see you?
like 12.
Wow.
Yeah.
Teenage.
Yeah, I was 12. When we went to village, that was Raipur.
Yeah. Wow.
Then they came to see me. I didn't know they came to see me. So after a couple of hours, we came home. Then I found out I was engaged.
Who told you?
I don't know. Somebody told me. My chachi, my auntie. Then after 3 years, we got married. I didn't see Dad until after 3 days when we got married.
Wow. Talk about perspective. It's like a year older than Pavneet, right? Yeah. Pavneet is a year older than what your mom was.
Yes, and Pavneet does not know how to crochet, so she would fail. She would have failed the evaluation. And another thing about how kids have changed, if I tell my kids just go sit there and do something, like maybe not crochet, paint, or do something, and someone comes in, they'll be like, who is that? Who is that, Mom? Who is that? Even if I tell them, like, hey, shush for a second. No, Mom, who is that? Who was that? Who is that? And it's like, that's it.
Well, shush after you answer. And you, Mom, how long have you guys been married?
With the grace of God, 43 years. Yeah. So we got married in December 1974.
Tell us, Mom, what's your story? How old were you when you came to America?
I was almost 22 when I came here. Didn't know English. Didn't understand any TV, black and white TV. I used to sit, Uncle used to write notes for me in English and in Hindi. So I used to repeat that all day. How are you? I want water. I want to go out. You're pretty, Dad, Uncle.
That's how you learned English?
Yeah.
Wow.
No, then I went to school for
but still,
3-4 months. So whatever I know today, I learned in 3-4 months.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yes. So, Uncle used to encourage me. He still does. He said, you can learn, you can do everything. You can go to high school. You can get the degree from here. He used to encourage me. I was 22.
Wow. Did you feel a little, how about your family back home?
I miss them, but I did not cry like why I'm here. No, I was very happy here with uncle.
I always thought it was really interesting that my mom knew her in-laws and her brother-in-laws and sister-in-law better than she knew her husband because she got married, right? She gets married. My dad got into college here in America, so he came here to go to do his bachelor's and master's.
So you weren't together in
They didn't live together in India. Yeah, maybe for a few months, right? And then my dad came to America and he was like, "Oh, I'll call you." Like, and so then she lived with them in her family. So it was like living.
Of course she knows them way better.
Yeah, it's and I don't know. Like, would we be able to do that? Just go live with our in-laws?
For the record, I love my in-laws, but no.
And I do too. But
And especially like if I don't even know Samir. I'm trying to put myself in your shoes here. I don't know Samir. He's suddenly gone off. Let's just say we're here, and he's gone to Thailand, and I have to live with my in-laws.
Yeah.
I couldn't do, but you did it.
I did it, but it's hard. It's not easy.
And you did it as well.
Yeah, we stayed with our in-laws for a couple of years. It was hard. We did not have any privacy in the beginning of our marriage.
And you didn't need any, Auntie.
Obviously. Come on. Mona was born 10 months later. I'm curious to know about when you had to go to school and talk to the teachers. Because of the language barrier, did you ever feel a little bit intimidated by it? Or was there ever some sort of hesitation, or did you have to seek some help?
I never missed I never thought my kids are Indian kids or they are little less than other people. No, I never thought that.
And what about for yourself? Like when if we had parent-teacher conferences or anything, did you think like, oh, you need dad to go with you? Or did you go?
Dad never went.
He never went.
Never went. I could understand some. If I didn't understand, I will ask them, what did she say? What did she say?
For you, Mom, there's another added layer. You were in Germany, so now we've got another language to conquer, battle, whatever you want to call it.
It was very hard because I did not know that much German. So in Germany, I had to take your dad with me because he was fluent in German. But I learned the language, but not that good. So I learned a lot. It was a challenging, your dad will come and I think children itself, they faced, because in Germany, foreigners are not welcome. So I'm sure I did not feel welcome, and I'm sure Mona and Lisa had to go through some issues in the school, and they will say, go back to your home and all that. Sometimes they will write it on the blackboard. Right. And it was hard for Mona and Lisa, and particularly us as parents, that we were going through that and children were going through that.
During that time, I have a question for you, Auntie. You were going to say the German phrase. It sounds like you know how to say go back to your country in German.
Geh weg, Heimat.
Go away.
Go away, geh weg, Heimat, home, something like that.
Ausländer geh weg. Ausländer, foreigner, go away. Home.
That's terrible and so hurtful. But I want to ask you, so when that happened, what did you did you discuss with the girls? Like, did you ask them questions or share with them? Like, hey, why is this happening? Did you talk about it? Or did you try to minimize it and just not talk about it to make less of a focus?
No, we will, because they were disturbed, we were disturbed, but as you know, because they have to deal with this situation every day. But we used to tell them, don't take it seriously, try. I don't know how much it worked, but it was hard on them and on for us. I was very sad and I was very homesick and depressed in Germany because of that.
And I have to say, this is where I feel like parenting right now is, at least for me, is easier, because she had to deal with her own things. Like she herself is, 27, 28 years old. She's facing racism herself. On top of it, now I've got to understand my kids' psychological well-being and what's going on with them. And you definitely did the best you could. So I'm saying even that's an added layer to this whole thing, that you had to also deal with your own day-to-day with racism and people telling you to go home.
And it affected my self-esteem very much. But that I had to deal myself, and Subhash knew about it. that I'm not happy in this environment. I'm not happy in Germany. And first of all, I'm not allowed to work because I did not work at all. I did not work until Mona and Lisa started full-time school.
I think that's so interesting, and like having a mom who feels that she has a place in the world makes such a huge impact on the children, right?
Yeah.
Like I was thinking in both of these stories, like Auntie, you shared how you were not comfortable. People were saying like, go foreigner, go home, right? Yeah, to go away and telling these very hurtful, mean things. And then my mom shared too, like she didn't know the language. She was worried and scared that I wouldn't get to school, so she followed the bus. Yeah. But you and I had no idea. Like Lisa, we had no idea. Like I went to school thinking I was the champion of the classroom, you know?
Yeah. For me in Germany, it was actually, I went to school thinking that they have no idea what we're going through, but it's okay. As long as they're happy, I'm cool. I'm just saying, but I didn't know what was happening behind closed doors in their world.
And I think it could have had a profound impact on you to know that your parents were also going through that.
Yeah.
That might have actually crushed the weight of what you were holding up. And I think for me, like my, even with the Punjabi side to our families, you know, we have this Punjabi influence, but we both were lucky that our dads and our moms never gave us any of that gender bias where a lot of Punjabi men will like say that, you know, only a boy can do this, girls can't do this.
Right.
Like neither one of us, your dad and my dad, were very like, no, you guys are equals, you can do that. I went to school and I used to stand right shoulder to shoulder with my brother. Yeah. Be like, whatever he can do, I can do. Yeah. And my mom used to always tell me that too. Like, even though my brother, now we're hearing, was like telling my mom, you have curly hair. But I went to school and I had such a strong, confident foundation that I would I never thought like, oh, I won't be able to get this because I'm not white or I'm not tall or I'm not, you know, my skin is different. Yeah. The teacher would say like, who wants to do this? And my hand would shoot up. Yeah. You know, in fact, Mom, I remember one day, I think I was in first or second grade. The teacher was saying something like, oh, I might ask a few parents like a few moms to come in and help the class with like cut these circles out or something. And I said like, oh yeah, just tell my mom, she'll do it.
Well, you were talking about, you know, having the foundation that we're no different than boys and we're the exact same and we can do the same thing. With us, we had a lot of independence very early being in Germany. That's always what I attribute my independence to, being there and my parents being whatever the opposite of a helicopter parent is. You know, we were 6, 7 years old taking public transportation, going all over Germany, doing whatever, hanging out outside till late. And those are the things that actually like, I feel like I could do it. You know, I can go to school all by myself, switch 3 buses, get there, take the train, and get home. And I am not even 7 years old yet.
I want to add one thing here. There were no school buses as in America. There were no school buses in Germany. So what children had to do, they had to use the public transport. But public transport was very good and they were very extra cautious, extra careful with the children who are going in the bus, going in the train. So I think I salute them.
No, I roughed it. It wasn't that good.
Let me ask you a question.
Take away my cred.
Listening to you describe that, Auntie, I want to ask you a question, then I want to ask my mom the same question. So, Auntie, you tell me, Hargun, my daughter who's here, she's here today, is 9 years old. If I said, Auntie, I'm going to let her take the bus and switch 3 buses to go to school tomorrow, would you let me do that?
No, see, not in America, because in Germany that was the only case and we gave them training and we...
You got tired of picking us up every day.
What about you, Mom? If I told you that I wanted Hargun to go take the bus today and switch buses, what would you say?
Never.
Why
not let you go? No, it's not safe. She's too young.
It goes to show the same parents, different time, would do things differently, right?
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. I just think things have changed. And, you know, it's funny, like helicopter moms, they existed then, but it was in secret. Right. Our moms were helicopter moms, but they were doing it secretly. And now we're just not as covert. Like if we helicopter.
Yeah, we all do. You know, it's a matter of owning it or not.
Did you grow up with girls and boys being treated equally, or was there a difference?
With the grace of God, I would say parenting of my parents was very good. They never, in spite of the fact that we were 4 sisters and 1 brother, but they never differentiated between us. And I think that brought so much confidence and positive image, that created so much positive image in ourselves. And I think that confidence probably was transferred to Mona and Lisa.
Jury's still out.
Don't say that.
Just kidding. It did. It did. And I think being confident and giving confidence to your children, I think both of us got
Yeah,
that.
it's a circle. Mom, what about you?
Was a difference.
What was the difference?
Well, my younger brother, my mom will feed him first. And she said, let him, because he's the youngest one. He was 7 years younger than me. Then, everybody, not only my mom, all the, everybody, they'll treat the boys different than girls. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But I never did.
And there is a difference. My mom grew up in a small village in Punjab. Your mom was in the city in Delhi, right?
I was born in New Delhi and brought up in New Delhi.
I think these different cultural variations, like it's interesting how
Within
we
the
all
culture.
have so many layers. Like if you really get to the core of Punjabi culture, which has been dwindling away and has really corroded over the years, but the love for music, having such a strong faith practice, like whether you're Hindu Punjabi or Sikh Punjabi or Muslim Punjabi, there's so many people that just love music and they'll sit around, sing music, sing songs and share poetry. And one of my fond memories of being younger and having Auntie you come over and my mom's friends circle was everyone would sit around and just sing.
Start singing. I
just
love
start
that.
singing.
I love music. I love to cook. I love to call friends.
Yeah.
Entertainment, set nicely. I love it. I still love it. Every day. If I could call people every day.
It's so refreshing to just hear that people just, it is. And like you were just talking about, being creative in itself is like puts you more in sync with the universe's energy.
In my circle of friends, like other people that are our age, I feel like there's a big push just for math, like STEM.
Right.
Science, technology, engineering, math.
It's really sad because we should not forget about the arts. We all know that. I mean, we're preaching the choir here.
Yeah. And it's going to be less of an issue with my kids because they're not going that way. But like with Allie, for example, don't push her into math. My kids are like, math, Mom, I got to go.
So I should take all the numbers off the fridge.
Okay, well, Lisa, Auntie, and Mom, this has been so much fun talking about what it's like coming to a brand new country, moving countries, learning a new language, and how you were able to give us that strong confidence foundation. And something that I just loved, Lisa, and I know it's like someone's cutting onions behind me because my eyes keep on tearing out this podcast, but I can't get over how much love our parents were able to give us, even though they were in a really difficult situation so many times over the years. So, I'm getting choked up right now. Sorry.
Yeah, no, and it really opened our eyes. It did for me. I did not know all this about my mom and all the, I could guess, but I didn't know until today all the emotions that she was feeling, especially in Germany. And like you said, still keeping our house full of love and good food.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you both so much for joining us. And thank you, listeners. We hope this sparks some interest for you to reconnect with your family or your parents, find out what they were going through, and possibly even share more with your own children. And we'd love to hear more about what you thought about this and other podcasts. And join us next time on It's Your Time to Shine.